投げる
Well, hello everybody. This is me, Stan, again in Puerto Vallarta with your weekly selfie underground fishing report. And things aren't pretty out there right now. We had a couple of hurricanes come through, you know about that. The fishing was kind of like going back and forth, and then strong currents came in, had another hurricane come in behind it. A lot of fish just plain disappeared. Not really unusual, but it's not something we really like. So that's kind of what happened. That happened about 3 or 4 days ago. We're seeing stragglers come back, baits coming back into the bay, and so it's been a little rough. We had a few days there where we had some 10-foot swells with, you know, no intervals. You could hop. If you could hop on them, you could skip from swell to swell. It's amazing out there, and so that kind of caused a lot of bad stuff. That's where we were, but now last couple of days we've seen more or less the same that we were seeing before. A lot of small bait out there, Corbatania, you know, this is krill kind of squid, and you know, little tiny little fish the size of your thumbnail. This is whale food, and they've been feeding on that, so it's a little hard to compete with that. So you have to use something like a Savique rig still, But once you get around 10 o'clock, 9, 10 o'clock like that, you know, you should be dropping live bait. It seems to be working pretty good after that. And lures, you know, start with petroleros, the iguanas, those are good out there. There's been some tuna out there. And that's what's going on. Sailfish, we're getting sailfish out there. You know, the numbers are thin, so it's going to be work. So I really need 10 hours. And but there's Kubera snapper out there. They're starting around 50 to about 60, 65 pounds. They're taking controlled skippies, so you don't have to jig for those. That's nice. You hook on one of those, it feels like a sailfish, and so you realize it's not really jumping out of the water a whole lot. And they're a lot of fun to catch. And we got blue marlin running at 350, 500 pounds. Black marlin seem to be in and out, but they're about the same size right now. So once they hit 500 pounds, they can hit 900 pounds in a heartbeat. So that's no big deal. No amazing thing. El Banco, you know, a couple years back, the seiners were running that place. They weren't supposed to, illegal naturally, but they broke their nets off out there on the high points. I remember a friend of mine, Josh Temple, told me that years ago. He actually went diving out there and checked that out. Says there's all kinds of nets broken off on those high spots down there, and they're waving around in the water, and it kind of screws up the bait situation, even though these are from the high spots. So the bank is kind of like a mostly off kind of place now. Most people stop there on the way back from, you know, the Tres Marias on a, you know, multi-day, 2.5-day tuna trip. Yeah, we have those, need those, want those. And, you know, but it's not some place you just go out to. It's 50 miles when you can go to Corbatania, and the chances would be much better. You know, the same old story, you know, for Cabo Corrientes area, completely ignored. And as I understand it down there right now, they got some, it's really happening for rooster fish, but you know, you got an 8-hour trip minimum, 10-hour would be better, because you got to go all the way out to the tip over there, and then maybe around it a little bit. But there's rooster fish up and down the area over there. So that's what's going on in deep water areas. Right around the Marietta Islands, you know, the Dorado disappeared. Who knows where they went? They just disappeared. Strong currents out there, but they got Huachalongos, snappers, and they got Kubera snappers. You might see some amberjack out there. They still got striped marlin running the area, and there's always sailfish. But the Dorado, they flat out disappeared. Now they could be out there right now. Everything changes in a matter of a heartbeat, you know. And there are some buoys up there north of Punta Nemita that if you're lucky enough to find them, you might be able to get some action going on up there. Of course, if you find a log or floating tire or, you know, whatever, that's always a gold mine for Dorado, so don't ignore those. But same deal, you know. We're eating small bait, so live bait midday around 10 o'clock. Bites happening around 9:30, 10 o'clock. Be where you want to be by 9:30. And that's kind of like what's happening, you know. So inside the bay, what we're still seeing some Jack Ravels, which is surprising. Even the baby Dorado disappeared. I don't know where all the Dorado went. They just left town. I mean, they're just gone. So Right now, I don't know what's going on with the Dorado, and they're small to boot at that. So, best thing to do out there right now, I'm holding this with my hand. So, shit. Best thing to do right now, just, go out there, go for smaller fish inside the bay, bonita all over the place. You might see some tuna over by Yellowfin, and there's always a freak sailfish, but rooster fish over by the Punta Negra area, and it's still a dare up on the north side there. So, there's a lot of things going on out there. So, the fishing is still good. It's just going to be work. And frankly, if you want to up the minute report, just fire me an email, give me a call. I'll tell you what's going on, what happened yesterday, what I expect to have, whatever. And we'd be happy to do that. And sorry about this report being a little lengthy. If y'all need anything, we're still doing the tours. We're still doing the transfers from the airport. We got private tours. We have fishing trips to the Trace Marie Islands. Reasonably priced private boat. Check my page out. And I guess that's about it. So hey, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. And until next week, don't forget to catch fish. Until then, hasta luego. This is Stanger Brooks saying adios. And I'll touch the button over here this time.
Takk for at du stoler på oss. Vi skal gjøre så godt vi kan. Vi har ikke mye erfaring, men en gang må være første gang.
Nageru